Stanley Kaufman's review of Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of the most schizophrenic things I have ever read. This is ridiculous. Hey guys, if it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell right next to it. Now let's take a look at this critic. Even before you see Raiders of the Lost Ark, after you've read the ads and gotten some sense of the reviews, you know that the picture is offering you a pact. Really? It's a movie that'll make a deal with you? Have I got a deal for you? Shitty car salesman of a movie, huh? You agree to be a kid again, in return for which Raiders will give you old-time movie thrills expressed in slick, modern cinematic terms. No thanks. Well, you didn't want everything this movie is. I went into a museum and there are all these sculptures and paintings. What the fuck? Where's the burgers? Yeah, go to a burger joint. You went to the wrong place. Unless it was like the Museum of Burgers, which I'd go to. I won't pretend that I got no thrills or tingly laughs out of Raiders, but the more it happened, the more it irritated me. I gotta say, if a tingle turns into an irritation, that night in Tijuana you weren't as safe as you thought. Should've made the donkey wear a rubber. But the more spectacular the sweep, the more stunning the special effects, the more ingenious the editing, the more my irritation grew until I toppled over into depression. Translation: I hate movies. Why are you a movie critic? It's amazing. The special effects are incredible. It's ingenious. I hate it. Are you jealous? Or do you just not like things that are good? It's just really weird. Because it's not like I respect what you're doing, I just don't like it. It's more, I don't respect what you're doing, it irritates the crap out of me, but it's brilliant. The action in Egypt is so febrile, if there were not some gags included, the pace itself would be funny. If they didn't put funny stuff in there, it'd still be funny. What? I'm so confused by this review. I feel like you're just having an internal battle constantly, where it's like a schizophrenic writing this. Are you a Gemini? You're so a Gemini. In the sequence just before the finish, the bad guys seize the Ark, which arouses the ire of Jehovah in ways that only his prophets Spielberg and Lucas could envision. Was that anti-Semitic? The Jewish prophets are Spielberg and Lucas? I don't even, calling them a prophet is like a compliment, but is that mean? I don't even know if that's mean. It's really stupid. I just don't know if it's mean or nice. Like, I don't know if it's like, you damn Jew, or like, you damn Jew, get over here. Give daddy a hug or whatever. Then we see the crate being wheeled away into the anonymity of an immense warehouse. This last high shot is presumably meant to suggest the last shot of Citizen Kane, except that this rosebud is not being destroyed. It reminded me of this, except it wasn't on fire. You sat there and you were like, this is brilliant. That house reminds me of a house I saw once, except that house was on fire. It's available for sequels, which will doubtless be forthcoming, and fifth coming, sixth coming, ... They're gonna make another sequel. The forthcoming one was not very good. Spielberg heads straight for the bottom of the film pyramid, as if that were where the truest cinema lies, rather than in applying cinematic post-literacy to contemporary society and using the new language for the new world. Man, you went from stupid to like literary scholar. What happened there? This is definitely schizophrenia, because it started out as like, I don't like movies, and turned into that shit. Holy crap. Ew, the contemporary society. Innocence. The nostalgia in Raiders is coupled with innocence, if that's the right verb. This, I'd guess, is the influence of George Lucas. If that's the right verb, innocence isn't a verb. Do you mean coupled? Innocence isn't a verb, but that's the thing you repeated twice. What the f? You just said the smartest thing I've ever heard and then went right back to dumb. You are schizophrenic. One of the most distasteful aspects of Star Wars was its assumption that life is better before sex intrudes. One of the weirdest things I've ever heard about Star Wars is that. Remember how Carrie Fisher looked? She helped to keep Star Wars sexless. You asshole. Are you serious? What boy did not think Princess Leia was hot? Are you kidding me? She is like so many people's first boners. So many. Back in that part of our lives when we could really have good, clean fun, ray guns, killing without consequences, and so on. All that happened, and there was nothing sexy. Slave Leia costume never happened. Go to a Comic-Con. Tell me Slave Leia never happened. It happened. And it's still happening over and over again. One of John Updike's characters says that in America, a man is a failed boy. The only significant error in that remark is that, to judge by the international success of Star Wars, it's no longer an American monopoly. Why are we talking about Star Wars anyway? I know the Jewish prophets also made Star Wars, but why are we talking about Star Wars? What's wanted is not all that nasty growing up, but physical yet sexless games in which only bad people die. It's so hard to tell who you are during which sentence and whether things are negative or not. Who am I talking to now? I don't want to be a child again, not even for 2 hours. I reject the Raiders pact. I don't even have a quip. I'm so confused at this point, and the fact that you don't have a childlike imagination and went to see this movie makes no sense whatsoever. Did one of your other personalities really want to see this movie and then the wrong one watch it? Like, one of your personalities is like some little kid named Timmy who's like, I really want to see Raiders. But then when you show up, like grumpy ass Stanley's sitting there like, fuck this shit. I don't want to be a kid. If it's your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little notification bell right next to it. Also, we have some cool t-shirts and stuff if you want to check out our shop. There's a link on the screen and a link in the description. Hit one of the videos on the screen if you want to see another one from us. And until we see you next time, geek out and game on.